I'm Zoe Elliot, and you're watching the AU Review. Yep, so we've got an EP coming out called Black Dog, and it's a nice little 5-song one, but we've just performed a couple of them, and I don't know, it's a bit of a mixture of songs. We've got Lies as kind of a sweet little ditty, but then we've also got some kind of deeper, darker stuff than I guess what Zoe Elliot followers have seen before. Yeah, and I guess as the title suggests, Black Dog kind of has that alludes to depression or, and I guess, we're trying to break more into the new folk kind of genre with content and sound. Yeah.
Explain to us a little bit what new folk means. Like, it's because it isn't that different from kind of the folk that we know already.
Yeah, very true. Well, I thought I was being really clever and I dubbed myself city folk until I found out that the term new folk existed. So I guess when I hear folk, I kind of perceive the folk festival sometimes of maypole dances and and Australian Ned Kelly kind of songs. I guess that's what you sort of think of music of like ancient musical culture. So I guess new folk, it brings out the music of our time, and so we're trying to address issues sometimes in our songs of things we see daily, and we're in a kind of different generation to Joni Mitchell was and to Ned Kelly.
The classic folk singer. I think it's like taking like traditional forms, traditional melodies, and they connect with the historical folky movements, but trying to say something new about what we feel about life and
and they it's music stripped back to its element. Like if it's got a good enough melody and the lyrics connect enough, I think it makes it new folk. Yeah.
And people like it because it's honest, I guess.
Yeah,
it kind of tries to stay clear of poppy stuff and.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, I like it.
So how far back do the songs on the record go?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the oldest one would be Liza. And I wrote that about a high school friend, but I would have written it about 4 years ago. And I really loved performing it and writing it and singing it. But I didn't really think of it as a great song. But a lot of people since I wrote it have mentioned it as kind of a little one they love. So eventually I thought I'll just stick it on this EP, and I gave it to a guy and he thought it was like one of the, I guess, main ones of the CD, which was interesting. It's quite unique. Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. That's the oldest one, so probably like 4 years the oldest. And some were written last year, and yeah.
So where'd you record the record?
And we recorded it at a place called House of Hits, and it was actually done on analogue instead of digitally. So it was like one take wonders, straight onto tape. And that was amazing.
It's with a guy called John McConnell, who used to be the sound guy for like Tina Turner and
Joe Cocker
and like all these epic names.
Yeah, great guy.
It's in this beautiful little heritage house down in Stanmore. It's amazing. Like at one point there was like this crackle and pop sound and like smoke started coming. They couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Did that make it onto the record?
I hope so.
No, we weren't recording. We were just mixing it there.
Yeah.
But it made me realise, because digital, I guess, you lose a bit of quality, but you can put so many layers and tracks on. And if you do an error, you just cut and paste and alter it. Whereas when it's on analogue, you have to get it perfect, straight time. So Black Dog was done in one take, guitar and vocals, and a lot of the other ones were, Liza was the same. So that's kind of cool to get that raw, immediate sound.
So you talked about people getting to know your music through the live setting, and that's definitely something you've been doing quite a lot of over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Can you talk maybe us through some of the highlights of your live career to date?
Oh, dude.
Maybe Matt Gorby was pretty cool.
That was awesome. We did the Secret Garden shows, which I think would have been like, the Oxford Art Factory's cool, but Secret Garden, like we had one, Wollongong, we played that one. It was like the weekend after he hit Triple J Top 100.
Yeah, I think brother went like platinum or
something. So he's crammed 200 people in this backyard.
They had to have security. And
yes.
It was amazing.
And it was just, the vibe was incredible, because everyone kind of, I guess because everyone had been supporting through Secret Garden shows and wanting him to do well, we kind of all had this massive celebration that he'd kind of done it. And we got to still see him playing solo, so that was pretty amazing. But what else? We did a little road trip in an old van we had called Big Bertha a few years ago, and we literally just got in the van with our guitar and just travelled with a couple of friends and met up with some acts along the way. So that was pretty incredible.
Every gig we played, people invited us back to their house.
Just over
To
the
stay, we ended up staying in a retirement village with a really cute old couple, Ian
Yes.
and Norma, up in Lennox Head.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The smallest gig in Sydney.
Yeah, that's great.
We played that with Tin Sparrow and the Falls. That's an epic Sydney gig. I love it.
Yeah, but I think Saturday will probably become my favourite because I'm just so excited about it. About our EP launch for Black Dog, I think it's going to just be the top, the ultimate.
Because we're playing with a full band. Usually
Yeah.
it's just a duet, but it's a full band this time, so that should be epic.
Yeah.
You should hear the story about Zoe, how her voice is so weird. Her voice is so like husky and stuff. It was because she had like a helium accident when she was a kid.
Is this true?
Yeah.
It's actually true.
She like
I dropped from a soprano to an alto in a night. Actually, I'd lost my voice for a month.
she had to, like,
Really?
speech therapy and stuff to learn how to like.
What? How old are you?
I was in year 10, so I would have been 16.
So you just did too much helium, basically.
Yeah, it was a school formal, helium, singing along to 70 hits, and then I lost my voice.
Lost it for how long?
So I lost it for a month, and then it's like, but I've literally started getting it back. I can actually sing high in the last year. So it's been
like so fragile.
so fragile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like she'll sing, if she's got 2
It's all
gigs on
good
a
now.
weekend, she'll be done. I won't be able to sing anything.
I did
Wow.
8 hours over one weekend once, and that shot me down far out. Someone offered me $100 to do a 10-minute gig afterwards. I was like, I honestly cannot even play another note. Like I'd been counting down for 3 hours. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so crazy. Helium, avoid it.
Avoid the helium.
I tell that story all the time to like kids when they're like,
It's like I wonder if there's someone out there, 'cause it's like one of those urban myths of don't do the helium music voice. What if there's like some cross-eyed guy out there who got caught in the wind or something? It's just like, he's the story. I'm the guy!
the wind changed. Oh man. Oh.
Learn from me, children!
So you're playing the church this weekend. Do you want to talk a little bit about that show? You've got a full band with you. It's going to be and you've got some great supports.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're playing up. So we got the venue called Paddington Uniting Church, and they used to have that event called Live at the Chapel. So they've seen Lady Gaga, they've seen Ben Lee, they've seen John Mayer, Laura Marling. So epic act. So we kind of thought we'd just rent out the amazing space and see if we could sell any tickets to it. So we pretty much have almost sold out, which is really exciting. And we've got 2 great support acts as well just announced, who are Achu Bless You and Edward Deere, 2 Sydney new folk acts, if I can classify them.
And then what happens after that? What's the rest of the year going to be holding for you?
Oh, I've been holding on to the EP for months now, so I'm ready to just throw it at people. Really. So I'm ready to start recording, and we're going to play some new stuff that isn't on this EP because it's ready to go. So that'll be probably start recording that in the next few months. I don't know. And we'll also we're going to try and do a tour down to maybe Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane, set up a few gigs there, and we really want to get support act to us. So we've got a few things in the making which we can't announce.
Things about to be announced. A few support tours, and we've got a few gigs up in Byron in the next little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might do some photo shoots and some filming, which I hate. I hate cameras. So yeah, and just kind of it'd be nice to start writing again though, get some new stuff and push this stuff out. Get rid of it. I love it, but new stuff.